Hello, everyone. I'm Maddie Smith, and it's that time of the week. We have a variety of topics this week. I read an article this week that said that outdoor retailers selling camping supplies are spread thin. How and why is my question. Why would you sit in quarantine for a year, see the world reopening, and then decide, I want to go sit in the woods for a week? That is not what I'm feeling. I'll tell you that much. You know what I'm doing? I'm watching the Gossip Girl reboot. This July on HBO Max, we got a reboot. All new cast members. They look very cool with a capital C. The season is going to be having a focus on social media, which, if I'm guessing correctly, the writers are probably all over 30, so they're going to have the characters say things like Graham and slid into my DMs real fast. Speaking of social media, parasocial relationships are on the rise. You guys know what that is? It's when you think you have a relationship with someone in the media, influencers, athletes, Peloton instructors, all of whom don't give a fuck about you. But we're going to talk about that later. Let's introduce our guests. We have two fire guests. You may know them from their very own podcast, No Fly List podcast. Give it up for Atheer Yacoub.
Hey, thanks for having me.
I always say give it up. There's no audience.
Yeah, I'll give it up for myself. You know
give it up for yourself. Yeah. And Amamah Sardar.
Hello.
What is up, girlfriends? Fire monologue today.
Oh my
Pretty
God.
much just listing topics. Do you guys feel like your life has turned chaotic? No. Meaning? No, hell no. No meaning. But do you think life has turned chaotic since stand-up started coming back?
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I want to blame my dirty apartment, and by dirty I mean I haven't cleaned in like 3 days. I want to blame that on stand-up, but
yeah,
I'm like, my life is like falling apart, and I'm like, it's because I have so much to do.
Yeah.
But it's a little chaotic in the sense it's also like what's gonna follow it. I think is like we're like, what else is coming back, and just being back in the world is
totally. I'm
scary.
like, if I'm feeling busy now, what the fuck is gonna happen in September?
Exactly. Also, it's like stand-up's back, and like the fear of like I'm not doing enough is back. And that is back like full force.
And that,
that is back full force.
Yeah.
When I tell you 2 months ago in therapy, I was like, I'm actually doing so good. Like, for once in my life, I am enough. And this week, today, I was like, so what's up, bitch? I'm back.
Yep.
And I suck.
That's what I did this week. Because
Yeah.
I was just like, oh God, like nothing is going my way. And she was like, the world just reopened. Like,
Dude,
what are you talking about?
Why? I think we have the same therapist.
We might.
Well, they all say the same things. They're like, I can see something in what you're saying. You're overgeneralizing, and
they're
you have
like
black and white
psychics.
They're psychics.
Yeah, for sure.
They just went to school and they know textbook exactly what to say to us, and then we pay them a bunch of money. We pay them a bunch of money for them to be like, you need to be nicer to yourself. And then you're like, that's such a good point.
But it's also like so
That's
hard
literally
to
what my
be
therapist
nice
said to me.
to
You need to be gentle. You need to be nice to yourself.
Yeah, but you could be nice to yourself, and then someone will post something that's like, guess what I just got? And I'm like, well, fuck me.
Fuck. How come when someone else gets something, you're like, well, another loss for me?
Yeah, I have to constantly be like, okay, other people's successes are not my failures.
And also,
Same
like,
with me,
sometimes,
yes.
Right, we have to
and
keep
also I don't
reminding.
even want what they
It's hard.
have, but sometimes I'm just like, oh my God, they got this commercial.
What am I doing with my life?
When I tell you guys on every single day, I'm like, TV is kind of over. It's all about doing your own thing. And then someone's like, I got a CBS show. And I'm like, well, fuck me then in the butt, you know?
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah.
But
I think that's normal to have a little bit of jealousy,
yeah.
but I think, or like that kind of envy. But as long as you're aware of it and kind of keeping it
Yeah.
in check, and then coming back to like, all right,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Everyone's doing their own thing.
Yeah.
There's no blueprint for this. Everyone has a totally different pathway.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Recognizing the thought.
Yes.
I think what you're supposed to do is acknowledge the negative thought and let it float through. That's what they say you're supposed to do. Rather than take the negative thought and let it spiral you.
Right.
Yeah, which is what I do.
Which is what I do.
I like
It's so
I
easy.
take the negative thought and I'm like just
Find
stay
the rabbit
in my
hole.
head.
Me too. It feels so good too. It literally
does.
is an addiction. You're
It's-
like,
yeah.
okay, that thing happened. I'm going to see that as a projection of myself. Oh my God, I'm almost 30, by the way. And I'm only on one MTV show. It's over.
Well,
I
fuck
lost
you, Maddie.
Right.
I'm 31.
I'm older than both of you.
I'm getting
I'm
freaking
65.
old. Anyway, okay. Our first segment is called Let's Sync Up. right, so at the beginning of each pod, we like to ask a question to get us all on the same page. Today's question, based on the Gossip Girls reboot. If you were a character in any New York City-based TV show or movie, who would you be? What TV character do you relate to the most? I have a few.
Okay.
And go ahead. No, you go.
Okay. The first person I thought of was Anne Hathaway in The Devil Wears Prada before she gets all fashionable.
Wait,
like I
that's
relate
so
to her like being not good dresser, a mess, really nervous and anxious, and she doesn't believe in herself.
Yes.
I relate so hard to that.
Oh my gosh.
When she becomes who she is, I don't relate to that yet, but I'm hoping, like maybe I'll get there.
We
But
are all pre-fashionable Anne Hathaway in The Devil Wears Prada. A handful of us get to the other side.
Yeah.
A lot of us are waiting to get to the other side. Isn't it crazy how you're always like, oh man, you envision yourself in 10 years and you're like, I'll have this big LA loft apartment and I'll have a Swedish accent and I'll eat vegetables for every meal.
No.
And you're like, how would I get there if I'm not doing it? How would that ever happen?
Exactly.
So I might be perpetually stuck as Anne Hathaway in the first half of Devil Wears Prada.
Same.
If I'm being honest.
I think I have to like cut back on like my daily whiskey intake
Yeah.
to be like the second version, but I don't want to do that right now. So
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
There's a huge amount of work that involves in a glow up.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's too much.
It's
It's
a
too
lot.
much work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I straightened my hair today and I went to kill myself by the end of it. I was like, why
you
would I
have
do
a lot
this?
of hair though. That's like the.
But
It looks great.
Thank
and I
you.
will say every time I do the full blow dry, full makeup, I'm like, holy shit, I look so fucking good, but I don't have the energy to do it every day.
No.
And I'm jealous of the gals who do it every day. Even their ponytails look like fire.
But
Yeah.
I think it's like you have nothing going on in life. that's like
Yeah,
the way
other
that you
things
get.
to offer,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
You know who I'm like really jealous of is like women who work in like politics or like
Yes.
stuff like that who always are put together to a T and are also, you've never seen AOC?
I was about to say AOC.
Not put- yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
How the fuck does she do
Yep.
that every single day? Meanwhile, I do one night of shows and the next day I'm like, do not even look at me
Yeah.
for 2 days.
Or you look at the pictures from the shows and you're like, oh
Yeah.
my God, I thought
How?
I did my makeup right.
Oh my
and
God.
it's just blotch
How?
and like, yeah.
How is that fair? And the lighting has hit her in every face and she
Exactly.
always looks good. So I'm jealous of those kind of people who always look clean.
Yep.
On
Not
TikTok,
me.
there's a
Yeah.
trend that's like you look either clean or musty, and I think I look
Oh.
musty as fuck. My character, I have a few. So I was thinking of Sex and the City first.
Okay.
Mhm.
Obviously, we all want to be Samantha. I actually don't think I'm any of the girls. I do want to be Steve, kind of, but I don't think I'm like humble enough to be Steve. You know how Steve, I think in person, if I met him, would be like, "Why you on Instagram?" So I'm not a Steve.
Yeah.
I'm not. I want to be a Steve, but have you guys watched like the full show?
Yes.
Who would I be? And this is so unfortunate to say, that guy Burger.
Oh, Burger. He was
Wait,
cute.
I have not
He
seen the
was
show.
cute, depressed,
Yeah.
hated his exes, really negative energy, like low self-esteem. He left her with a Post-it note. He broke up with her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He was hot.
He
What
was
to say
hot.
about me? I was attracted to him.
I was like annoyed with him, and I think I was annoyed because he reminded me of me. He had like very negative energy and would be like, "Oh, the world's bad and I suck," and I'd be like, "Oh,
You think so highly of yourself
I know.
after therapy.
I know, right?" But in reality, you want to
Yeah.
be Steve, but I think I'm Burger. You want to be big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
kinda-
then,
do you want to be big?
Yeah, he's worse than Burger in my
He's
eye.
worse, but being him would be fun.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true.
He's rich
Yeah,
as
yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's, I don't know, ambiguously rich. I don't know what he does.
We don't know what he does.
We don't know.
Just business. I mean,
He's
those
just
like 90s, 2000s business
consulting.
Wall
guys.
Street.
Yeah.
Yeah. Consulting.
What-
Which
whatever
today
that
like
is.
does not exist. Today
No.
he would be like a Bitcoin horse
Dodge.
murderer, poacher in South Africa, like something
Yeah.
like that. But back then it was just like Wall Street
Yeah.
guy. And then my other one from younger,
Oh,
yes.
Wait.
As I get older, I'm becoming Eliza.
Oh, I love Eliza.
Becoming Liza because
is her name Liza?
becoming a Liza, I meant. Because I wear pigtails. I'm almost 30. I am on TikTok, and I'm just like, hey guys, I can be one of you. You know, you're like doing comedy as you approach a certain age.
I like that you're talking about 30, like it's death,
Yeah.
and
I
we
keep-
both are
well
in our
over
30s.
You know what? I keep saying
both
that, and
over
I
30.
truly apologize. It's just,
We're like,
it's just,
wow, that's so old.
I'm like, oh my god, no way.
No.
Meanwhile, I'm also on TikTok.
Let me slide into your DMs,
I know,
people. Let me
no.
TikTok. Let me.
I'm like
so
going
sorry.
out, like
I'm-
partying, like I'm like
I should have read the room. I should have read the room before you fucking old bitches got here.
We stopped having periods, so when you said
Yeah,
let's sync
that's
up,
true.
I was
Oh
like,
my
I don't know what
God.
you're talking
This
about.
is-
We went
So
through
I'm
menopause.
so
Our
sorry.
eggs are dried out.
That was
Yeah.
so inappropriate
I
of
know.
me. That was very elderly,
Very insensitive.
Yeah.
exclusive,
That
not
was very
inclusive at
ageist
all.
of you.
Really ageist. I am so sorry. Okay, let me reframe it this way. Liza wants to be younger than she is,
Yeah.
and that's me.
I relate to that.
Yeah, I
pretty
relate
hard.
to that.
Yeah.
I want to be Liza. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
so hot.
She's so
And-
hot. She's dating different guys from different age and tax
Yep.
brackets at once.
Yeah.
Who I would really like to be from younger is her friend Maggie.
Oh my god, I love her.
Right?
She's
We
the
all
coolest.
want to
Yeah.
be the like.
That's who I thought you were gonna say initially. I could
I-
see you as a Maggie.
See, I always think I am, but I am not. I could be a Maggie.
You
She's
could-
cool.
Yeah.
Though, like, I
Your
don't
names
give a
are
fuck.
similar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
names
Maddie,
are similar.
Maggie.
We look alike, and we both live in huge lofts with art.
Yeah,
everywhere.
there you go.
And we have sex with women
Right.
all
you're-
the time.
exactly. You are basically
Yes.
the same person.
So, like, Amamah, my glow up is probably Burger, but later on, I'll be Maggie.
Like, hell yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought of one. Abby Jacobson from Broad City. I think I would
Yes.
be her because
I
she likes to
see
have
it.
fun. She can get down, but
Yes.
she needs someone to loosen her up a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she'll still like, go crazy party, but be cautious of it
Yeah.
and be
Is it
responsible.
because she's in her 30s?
Probably.
No,
she'd be dead if she was in her 30s.
I am sorry. Let
No,
me
no, no,
apologize
we're kidding.
profusely. No. You know what I
I've always
mean.
been, this is the most.
Atheer looks the youngest out of all three of us
I
combined. If I'm
know.
gonna
Stop.
say that,
Okay,
literally looks
stop.
like you're
Yeah.
20, negative 20.
It's the brown thing. You gotta.
I know. See, that's the other thing is like you guys got more time than me. A white woman, like
This is something
It's
that
over.
I was gonna audition for something, and I was like, oh my god, like I can't even pull off this look. And someone was like, yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Like, you have like a few years more because like just don't go into the sun. Wear sunscreen.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
like, now.
That's what I've been
Yeah.
trying to just.
Thanks
Yes.
to racist brown people who were like, don't get
Yes.
darker, but that just meant don't go into the sun.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
But now I'm always in
Or
the
no one
sun.
will marry you.
Yeah.
Yes. So the conversion rate from me to you guys were actually the same rate.
That's true.
Yeah.
Same age. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. If we're talking about biological age.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's really what counts.
It actually is,
Yeah.
especially in the industry,
Yeah.
you know? Okay, so Abby Jacobson.
When I was thinking about Sex in the City, I would be more of a Charlotte. Again, a
Yeah.
prudish person, but who's like, okay, she likes to have sex, she likes to do whatever, but
Yeah.
also very cautious and kind of prudish and will go out and have fun,
Yeah.
but probably isn't the first person to suggest, let's all get wasted, but
Right.
will end up getting in these like, I don't know, situations.
Yes.
Who is the first person to suggest let's get wasted? Because I don't. That's who I would relate. Yeah, that's
You.
me.
You.
Yeah. That's who I
Yeah,
would relate
you-
because I haven't seen Sex in the
so
City.
you would probably, I could see you as a Samantha.
Samantha.
I
yeah.
do go up
Actually,
to dudes and just
yeah.
give them my number.
You would be Samantha.
I
for
think
sure.
you're a Samantha.
Thank God.
Yes.
Yes.
Unfortunately, at the root of it, I really think I'm Carrie because I'm like anxious and I seek out relationships with men who don't exist.
I do the same thing though.
We all
Okay.
do that. No, but that's just dating in New York City.
Yeah, you have this idea of like the perfect man, and then
Right.
like Aiden was like on paper perfect, and then
Oh.
she was like,
Okay,
I can't do it.
but my perfect man is like some guy who's like emotionally unavailable and
Right,
he
right.
doesn't have a job. I'm like, oh my God.
Luckily,
look at that.
there's tons of them.
Yeah, I know.
In comedy alone, yeah.
In comedy alone, just look at any stand-up lineup.
That's true.
All the hosts just shake his hand.
Emotionally
and then-
unavailable, no
Yeah.
real job. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arrogant. Okay.
Arrogant. Boom. Done and done. Yeah, I would say stand-up as men stand-ups are the most emotionally unavailable
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
people in the world,
Yep.
except for maybe like a male photographer.
Or neuroscientists or rocket scientists.
Yes.
Because I've hung out with a lot of them. But maybe it's
You
more
have?
of no, I'm kidding. No,
I was like, oh my God.
I don't.
Where the fuck are you meeting those people? There's like a special bar.
Yeah, right.
I've met a few smart people in my day, but they're like, maybe it's the social awkwardness that makes
Yeah.
me think they're emotionally unavailable.
Yeah, I really think
really,
with,
really smart people. Who are
yes,
just
with people like that, you really just have to be like, that's so cool. And he won't give you anything back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you just fuck robotically and you can't take it as any sort of offense that he
Yeah.
doesn't say I love you.
Yeah.
He
I met
really
a
does.
director this past weekend, and he seems so emotionally unavailable, and I cannot wait to try to date him.
Yes.
As he's like,
No.
yes,
Amamah.
doing it.
I'm supposed to
so
shake
excited.
you out of these things.
No, I went up to him and I was like, here's my number. You
Wow.
are allowed to do whatever you want.
Does it hurt you anymore?
I think I'm
Like dealing
losing
with
feeling.
these? Really? Because
Yeah.
for me, that's like, I can't. I've been hurt so hard by like one or two emotionally unavailable people, and it scarred me for life.
And then
Yeah, I
would
feel the same way.
Yeah, I'm very anxious. I'm like a shaky little chihuahua.
I'm
it comes
super
to dating.
anxious too. But you're like good though, like now with like
We
you
broke
and
up. No, I'm
No,
kidding.
I was like,
That was a
what?
joke.
Yeah, I was like,
oh my God.
Wouldn't that be crazy? No, yeah, we're good now.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
even when I think back to those times, I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
oh boy.
did it start off like the anxious, he's gonna text me, whatever, or from right off the bat, did you feel secure in it?
With my relationship secure from right away.
See, that's
Yeah.
how
That's
you know.
when you know.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
that's when you know.
how you
Yep.
freaking know. I'm like,
Listen to your body. If you're feeling
Yeah.
anxious, probably because they're pulling away for some reason.
100%.
There's something in you that's saying
Yeah.
like this isn't right.
yes.
So listen to that feeling. It's good, and just know that that person's probably not going to work out for you, because you
Yes.
shouldn't be waiting, and you shouldn't be like, oh, what's going on?
Agreed.
You should just feel like you should just know like
He
they're there.
should be at the foot of your bed when you wake up within 1 week of texting.
Making you breakfast,
No
kissing your feet.
questions of where he is. Yeah, it was very obvious that I was like gonna date this guy,
Oh,
who
nice.
my current boyfriend is, for a
Yeah.
long time, because it was just like, oh yeah, there's no questions. Like from the beginning, he was like, I'll be a good boyfriend. You know what I
Aw.
mean?
Yeah.
And that's when you're like, oh shit, this is what it's supposed to be like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Not fucking some guy saying I like you, and then 2 days later he's like, oh,
I'm confused.
I don't want to do a solo hang. Let's go
Right.
in a group. And you're like, oh yeah, because
Let's
I'm
go bowling with our friends.
yeah, let's go in a group hang. I
I am
yeah.
that guy then.
Yeah.
This is, I'm always
You
like,
are the emotionally unavailable
I
guy.
think you
I
are.
am, yeah.
I think that director's like, I met this emotionally unavailable girl.
Yeah.
The other day.
He's like,
Can't
I
wait
really
to
just
see."
wanted a serious relationship and get married and have
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
That's probably true, because I always do the group hang. I'm like, yeah, come meet all of my friends. That
Yeah.
way, like, oh God, I have so much work to do on myself.
I guess it depends what you want to attract, though. If you want to just have like a short-term thing or a casual thing, then staying like with emotionally unavailable people is
Yeah.
I think fine, as long as it doesn't hurt you.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so nice. Look at this.
Yeah.
Free therapy.
As long as it doesn't hurt you. Yeah. I'm on Lexapro. Okay. Let's go to our next segment.
Vibrid, newer one.
What's it called?
Vibrid.
Oh.
it has less like sexual side effects.
Oh,
It's PSA. We'll talk.
yeah, we'll
it's-
talk. Okay. I like the
I
name.
just switched from. I know it sounds like sexy. It
I
sounds
know.
sexy. Vibrid. My
Wow.
friend was like, "So you got a vibrator?"
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
No, yeah.
I'm gonna check that out. Okay, let's go to our next segment, which on this line of stuff is called emotional issues. Okay.
In the height of emotion, it's not always easy to stop and think things through. But if you'll just slow down, then judgment has a better chance to take hold.
Okay, so this week we always try to answer some questions on the pod. This week I posed advice to my Instagram followers, asked them to ask us advice, and podcast listeners, all right? So I got some questions that maybe we can answer based off what we just discussed. I don't think any of us are available to answer, but let's do it.
All
Okay,
right.
question number 1. Should I toss my husband a threesome in Vegas? I'm gay and vaxxed, by the way.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
Why? Unless he has no idea and you
Well,
guys have never done something like this, I wouldn't
think about someone just sprung a threesome on
I'm
you.
pretty sure they've talked about it. No one's
Yeah.
like,
Well, I feel
for
like
the
we should say
goodness-
that. You never
yeah.
know. Maybe
You never know.
and see if that person like actually wants it, because maybe like if you brought it up and they're like, oh, maybe one day, but it's really that you want the
Yeah.
threesome. Are you pushing it on them, or does that person actually want it? Who is it really for?
That's what
But
I'm wondering.
I feel like if you ask that question, like you don't want someone to be that happy ever. Like I'm not gonna willingly like give my boyfriend a threesome, like unless it was like discussed beforehand. So if it's being discussed and you feel comfortable.
No, I'm saying, but what if you wanted the threesome and then you sprung it on them? Be like, this is for you.
Right, that's what we're wondering. It's the same thing with like you assume everyone is in on a proposal, but sometimes it comes out of nowhere.
That's true.
I assume we're all having discussions a year in advance of exactly when he will propose and what the ring will look like. But there's people out there who are like, I had no idea. Still, that's like 50s shit.
Yeah, that's so strange.
Who the fuck is getting a surprise proposal? You should have your nails ready.
Exactly.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. So this threesome thing is making me think of that. Maybe that's the gay version of a proposal, you know, is springing a threesome on someone. Did they plan? Did they talk about how much it will cost? Is what I'm wondering.
Is someone filming it?
Is someone filming it? It's in Vegas. Who is it going to be? Chippendale? Like,
also, it is in Vegas. Like, you can pick any other location where you won't get like a major STD. Like, I would be. Vegas is like a really intense
Use
place.
protection.
Yeah, like
I beg of you.
Yeah, why don't you just
maybe
go,
drop hints before? Just be like, you know, some sort of, I don't know, just something about like threesomes or whatever.
There's something about a spontaneous threesome that would make me dry right up.
Yeah.
If he was like, surprise, and there was another man or woman in the room and said, you have to fuck me and him.
Now we're all fucking.
Yeah, now we're all, and in my head, leading into the hotel room, I thought I was going to take a bath and go to sleep. No,
I would. Your night just completely changed.
I'm not good with one person. I can't imagine me trying to have sex with two different nights. One person alone, I'm exhausted.
After
2 people,
4 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm like, can you come? Yeah, I've never had a threesome. I don't have any interest in it. I'm very super like closed off sexually, if I'm going to be honest. And Lexapro. And also, I have no interest in having anyone else's genitals in and around my face.
Yeah, or your person's face.
That's or like, his face, yeah. Because it's surprising. I actually don't really care about him that much. I'm more just like, I have no interest in personally delving into someone else's peen or vagine. Yeah. He can, if I don't think it would be as much like, oh, he's touching her. I'd be like, I don't want to touch anyone. Yeah. Or have them touch me.
This is
Did you feel that way before, the emotionally unavailable men, and before these like bad experiences?
Yeah, in other relationships, I'd be like, if he touches someone, I'll be pissed. But now I'm like, if Andrew was fucking someone, I'd be like, okay.
Oh, I mean, if like not wanting to touch someone else, or not being
it's
like super sexual.
Mid to late 20s, it's happened. Yeah. What do you guys think? What's your diagnosis?
Wondering if it is the medication or if it's the experience that you had, or a combination.
I've been really stressed ever since the first time I did stand-up comedy. And
my vagina hasn't gotten wet since.
I think it's a mix of that, and I think it's a mix of the meds, and I also think it's a mix of just like having a lot of bad sex. And having to like unravel that.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That took me like a few years, and then like this past like few months, it's been like, all right, like I'm having like good sex again. Yeah. But again, like it took a lot of like past trauma that like I had to be like, these are some horrible things that have happened to me. So I also was like, for a while, like, dude, I can't touch anyone. No one can touch me.
It's like an onion.
Oh yeah.
It's like not even anything like super specific. It's just like the added up of like bad shit, walk of shame, home, sleeping on the train, falling asleep on the train. You know what I mean? I was homeless. Yeah. So I'm going to say, toss your husband a threesome if you're both in on it, similar to a wedding proposal. Exactly. Do not, unless you guys are really all have done it before.
Yeah.
So we don't know.
Thing. Yeah.
Well,
if you have done it before, thank you for listening to my podcast. I didn't know I was
very cool.
Adventurous. Okay, the second one says, all right, this one's for a mama who has a lot of fuck buddies. Okay. Oh, actually, I don't know if you do. Do you have a lot of fuck buddies?
No.
Okay.
I can't do the casual thing. I think it's like at this point it like it hurts.
Yeah. You're Charlotte.
I am Charlotte.
Yeah. So this one says, do you tell a fuck buddy that you like them even if you don't want to date?
Oh, okay. I've been in this situation before.
Yes.
There's a few avenues I would go down. Number one, I have no filter. At this point,
that's what we're gleaning.
But like, I will just say how I feel about someone, like the second I feel it. But I've learned that's not a good idea. So like, like now, what I would do is like, look, if you don't want to date, like, what feelings are you actually having? And is it like, if you want to dial back on the fucking because you feel like, oh no, I might get attached? That's super important to explore because that's what I do now, where like the last few guys, I have had no feelings for them and I do not want to date them. But obviously you do care about people eventually, as you should. If you're sleeping with the same like few people over and over, you're going to start caring about them. But you have to like figure out what those feelings are, because not everything is romantic. It could just be care about this person. If you are having romantic feelings though, I don't know, like even if you don't want to date, eventually your mind might be like, oh my God, we should date because the sex is good, or they like make me feel XYZ. And
you might overlook things like ask yourself why you don't want to date this person now, because that's what happens. Sometimes you're like, oh, I definitely don't want to date them. And then the hormones get involved, the attachment stuff.
Dude, it's bad.
And then you can't really separate.
They tell you about their dad and you're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry about your dad. Like things like that.
Especially the post-coital convos in bed. God. You got to get out, because that's when I'm like, I might
stopped
like
having those.
You have to.
Yeah, I just sleep now.
I watched a guy's web series. He pulled it up on his phone after.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, also, I one time did that too.
Wait.
And we might have a similar therapist and similar. Yeah. No, it wasn't in New York though. It was in Rhode Island.
Okay. I was literally about to pause the cameras and be like, was it?
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys after. But the post sex conversation, because that's what boyfriend and girlfriend do.
Yeah.
So there was one time the morning after we went to a coffee shop together. And that's when I was like, am I?
No, but guys do these things where they want to sometimes just have the girlfriend experience, but then don't want any of the commitment. So don't let these things also like lead you in any way, like until you hear verbal confirmation of something. But this is like, I mean, this person I personally, like, I wouldn't tell someone I like them unless I plan to date them, because if I'm not planning to act on it, I don't see the point of having the conversation.
And it's just gonna cause some
weirdness. The texting gets weird.
Yeah. And then you're breaking your own heart by doing that. So you just have to really understand, like, how do you actually like them? It might not be as romantic as you think. Yeah. Because if you're already like, I don't want to date that person, then it's like, well, what are you doing?
Yeah. And if you think you like, then you might just end it. You could just also just end it.
Yeah. Or just like dial back on the fucking. Introduce someone else in the lineup.
Get a rotation going. Yes.
Yeah. No, rotation is necessary.
It's necessary, even just to get your, like, just distract yourself. Yeah. And not, even if you like this person, it's still good to just see other people, open up your mind and world to other people. Just
100%. I cannot emphasize, like, even if you're just swiping while you're waiting for someone to text back, you're like, look at all these people out there.
There's options.
Yeah. Exactly. And every time you talk to someone new, it's like kind of fun, and you're like, oh wow, I was really in my head.
Yes.
I've created a story in my head that made no fucking sense.
Yes.
And I do this all the fucking time, where I will fantasize about like us being like in love, and then immediately the second I talk to someone else, I'm like, wait, what was that? Like,
wait, what was that? Yeah. Totally.
It's like, whoa.
I do that all the time. Why did I do that? Yeah, you're hooked, fixation. Then you go to a party and you start talking to some new guy and you're like, okay, bye, Brian.
And they pick up on that energy too.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I would say no.
No, don't do it.
Don't do it. Unless you plan on acting on it, want to date them, want to let them know, and be prepared for either outcome that they might not, if you end up doing it. Because
if I'm gonna be honest, listen, guys, I'm almost 30, so I got some wisdom in the books here. If it's 90%, it's gonna lead to heartbreak. Yeah. Because if he wanted it, he would.
You would know.
You would be dating him.
Yeah. It's so, guys know.
They're so obvious.
We
so
act like
basic. They're big Confucius philosophers when at the end of the day, they just go after what they want.
Yeah. As a fuckboy, I know when I want something or someone. Yeah. And I will and I've lessened it, but I used to do the boyfriend experience thing where I was like, this is so nice. This is my temporary boyfriend. And I had that with like 5 different people. And now it's like, I'm not going to do that because it's mean. Yeah.
I do think that's mean to say, in a different lifetime, if I wasn't dating someone and I was where I am now, I would probably get a rotation going again. Yeah. Like 10 people.
Exactly.
2 on
10. Wow.
Yeah. That's 2 on Saturday, 2 on Friday, and then one day for the rest of the week.
You're hustling in comedy and in sex.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
I'm doing doing guys the way I do spots. Definitely. Yeah. Because, for the most part, they're going to say, oh, shit, that sucks.
Yeah. That's it.
We were just supposed to fuck. Yeah. And you know what? The guys are very they're mammals. They got their bitches they want to fuck, and then they're like, I need a wifey. Like, they hit a certain time, like 27, 28, and they're like, wifey. And that's when they start.
And then if they break up with that person during that time, they go through an extraordinary hoe phase. Yeah. And they are deeply hurt. And then you have to be like, stop being a bitch and just like open yourself up again.
I know.
And I have done this with several friends that are like so deeply hurt by some girl when they were like 27, 28. Right. And now they're like 30 something. And they're just like, I don't know. Like, I guess now's the time. But like, I wonder what she's doing. It's like, she's married.
She's married. She owns a home. Yeah. She's on a mortgage with another man.
Who has a job.
Who has a doctor. You know? Like, it's done for you. And stop dating 20-year-olds and get out there and date some women your own age.
Yeah, like us.
Yeah. like some 60-year-old gals.
Yeah. Some golden girls in the house. Okay, so this next question says, do you have tips for how to love yourself?
Do they have tips for how to love myself?
Do you have tips?
Yeah.
I feel like Atheer might be good at this one.
Let's see. Oh, I'm trying to practice now. Self-love. I like to do like just a simple one is just like visualizations, or like just close your eyes and kind of like picture like your heart getting kind of warm, and like picturing yourself sending your self-love. Like just saying I love you to yourself and feeling it like glow, and just like kind of so I tend to be like a very visual person. Then you can sort of feel yourself, almost like give yourself like a hug. And
that's really heartwarming, literally.
That's really amazing.
Wait.
Yeah.
So it's just like a practice.
I thought you were going to say visualize yourself like rich in 10 years, but you're just talking about your heart now.
Yeah, just closing your eyes, and I'm very much into like energy healing and all that stuff. So like that's one way to kind of, draw all that like good energy towards yourself. And, some people like affirmations. Some people, I always just say like, do things that make you feel good about yourself, and like good for you. And that will also like build confidence. And you're like, okay, well, I'm eating healthy. I'm exercising. I'm sleeping. I'm like, listening to my own needs. That's just a way to kind of like honor yourself and love yourself. Because if you provide care for yourself, that is a form of love. So sometimes just like do it.
Yeah.
And also, like we were talking, be gentle, forgive yourself.
Yeah. Be nice to yourself.
Listen to the kind of words you use towards yourself,
And so Atheer will send me these visual. It's really helpful. She'll send me some of these visualizations, and I actually today was thinking about it because I was like, I'm in a dark place again. But I was just like, oh, I'll listen to one of the ones that she sent. But love, like when you're thinking about visualization too, it's so easy to be like, well, I'll be like a famous like actress or whatever you really wanted. But I think love is truly the basis of like healing. So you really do have to like go back to like the actual, think about the things that really made you feel love. And it could even be a past relationship, but like focus on that feeling. And it could be with friendships, with family, but like certain moments that made you feel loved. And if you really focus on them, then you're like, I'm actually a really dope person and people want to be around me, and I am enough and I'm good enough. And like, you don't need to be more than enough. Like, I think that's what like society now is always like, be more. Yeah. And we get stuck in that with this whole like career, like path that we're choosing.
And I also like to add, like with guys, I'm still really learning like where the line is and where not to get hurt and like what to do. But just remember, like, do not see yourself through other people's reflection. It doesn't matter. Like, especially when you're dating someone, it's so easy to be like, do they like me? Well, fuck that. Do you like them? Also, something my therapist told me, it doesn't matter if they like you or not, it doesn't matter why they like you. Don't get like, you don't have to have an itemized list of, do they like this about me? Do they think I'm funny? Do they think I'm smart? Who the fuck cares? If they're hanging out with you, they like you. They don't. Sorry.
So true.
And
but
hang out with people who are good for you.
Yeah, make you feel love.
Yeah,
like
I think my life changed for the best when I met Atheer because it was.
You guys.
I was going through a horrible breakup. I felt like utter shit, and we're gonna talk about the dark place later and do some stuff. Okay, cool. We're gonna do some.
But like it is, you have to surround yourself, especially in like comedy or whatever career path, because everything in New York are like one-upping each other no matter what.
I know.
You could be a therapist, and there's therapists who are like trying to
who are on TikTok being the star therapists. Yeah.
So you have to surround yourself with people who like have your back no matter what, and not just because you're doing well at the moment. And that shit will always make you feel like shit too, because your body and your mind knows when you're around people that aren't good for you.
I know.
So if you're feeling like shit, that's probably a reason for that. Mm-hmm. So everyone knows how anxious I am, like in my close group of friends.
Yeah.
And the guys are like very, like I've seen them like out shows and like how they are online. But like when I sit down and I talk to them about like stuff like this, they're just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know what? Like we have your back. How are you feeling? How are you feeling today? And it's like, it's important to be around people that give you love.
I actually 1,000,000% agree. Yeah. And it's everything from like just like muting people who don't make you feel good to just like when you see like an event you're going to and someone you might not feel good around is there, just be like, all right.
Yeah.
Just say hi, move on. Just say hi. You don't have to like blah, 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 blah. And kind of like protecting yourself against negative forces.
She has this thing where she's like, just envision yourself in like a protective light,
like
when
a
you're
violet
going,
light, and like kind of almost like an energy force field. And just imagine that when you're at parties or with people, or even before you go out, and if you feel, just imagine yourself kind of surrounded by that energy force field, so no one can like kind of break through that.
Especially like someone like. A lot of people are going to be like, oh, I want to be around Maddie. And I want to like, and I think everyone is so popular.
People are always like pining for my autograph.
Yeah, exactly.
Barreling through the door.
It's like, it's a good technique to just be like, I'm actually like protected by my own like shit. Yeah.
I feel like you guys are acting like I asked this one, and I want to those who are listening, they're looking right at me as like I think you guys forgot that someone else submitted this, but I'm also feeling it in my heart, and I also am working on loving myself more too.
I am too. Please. Yeah. It's a work.
Yes,
it's a work. It's so hard.
Lifetime of work.
Every moment.
Lifelong learner. Yes.
Yeah.
Because if you stop and sort of start being mindful, and you're like cooking, and then you see a negative thought come in, you're like, oh, what the fuck? And you start being aware, because it used to be like constant barraging of negative thoughts, and now I'm trying to be more aware of them. And the frequency with which they come is alarming to me. Yeah. In which they connect to each other. It's like, oh, I'm cooking. Oh, I burnt it because I blah, blah, blah. And I also blah, blah, blah. And look, it's messy now. And this is why I can't take care of things. And this is why you don't have a late night set.
You could easily spiral if you follow that.
Spiral. But if you see the negative thought float in, you can say, boom.
Yep.
Or just let it flit.
Also, the funny thing is, like, I've talked to a few friends who have had late night sets or like have done something really cool on TV.
Well, fuck them.
Well, and the thing is, like, what's always like interesting is like they're like, I'm just not doing well, and I'm like,
I know,
I'm so sorry, what? And it's like everyone is always looking for the next thing. So you'll never, even when you get that thing, my fear is like, what if I'm never going to be happy?
Moving. I mean, like that thing, the goal keeps moving,
and that's something I'm trying to work on now.
Yes, me too. I'll talk to older comics, and they're like, yeah, I don't know, I really just can't find this, and you're like, dude. You're like famous to me. Yeah. You kill every time. You have 10 late night sets, and you yourself are like, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be like that in 10 years. It's the same way, you know, I was raised by a mom who was always trying to lose weight. And when I was younger, I was like, that's the only thing I don't want to be when I grow up, is like a woman who's in her 60s who's like, I'm not doing carbs. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you don't want to end up at like that comedian or that show business or anyone in life who's like, I don't know. It's just like, I feel like I don't have what they have.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not as famous as Andrew Schultz. And it's like, dude, you're crushing it.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be that person.
And if, are you happy though? Are you, that's all that matters. You can be happy now, today. You don't have to wait for something to happen to be happy.
And if you're like, honestly, like I really do believe this, if you're like an actual person that people want to be around and you're working hard enough, the things that you really truly want will come to you.
Yeah.
But the more that you pine and like want, it's just going to take fucking longer. And even if it does, you're just not going to be aware that it's there.
Yes.
So all of that self-love is gone because you're like, I'm a piece of shit.
It's so true.
You have to treat yourself like the person you look up to.
You do.
Yeah.
You have to pretend you're like your own celebrity.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, if I heard that Cameron Diaz hated herself, I would be like, Cam, girl. So I always picture myself as like, what if people heard how many insecurities I have?
They would be like, hearing it now.
I know, right?
Podcast we're all talking
what
about.
If all these people heard? But what if like someone? What if someone in the audience knew that I actually am not that boisterous person who's on stage? It would totally hurt everything about me, everything I'm trying to present the world as. So if you think about it that way too, you're like, you go to parties and you're like, dying inside.
Yeah.
They have no idea what's the point of even trying to be like the life of the party if you're so sad on the inside.
And also people really like just honesty.
Yeah.
This year, the more honest I've been, people are like,
I really don't have the strength or emotional energy for just like bullshitting with people. I really don't. I think it's also just the easier way to go. Just be honest, be real.
Yeah.
People do appreciate that, and people can like smell bullshit off you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good people can.
Yeah.
Bad people just
bad people, bullshitters do
Yeah.
sniff out other bullshitters too. So that's another thing. But just I also love lists. So make lists of things you love about yourself and remind yourself of it constantly, or
literally
post it
daily.
Ooh, big boobs.
I have like what big boobs. Yeah. Maybe also other things about yourself that aren't just your physical attributes.
I think that's a good one though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Fuck's really good.
Sometimes.
It depends on like the night and how many beers I've had. Get over 2, it's over.
Then I'm gassy. I just want to eat pizza and I want to go home.
Don't touch me, dude. Yeah. Especially a beer drunk. You're like, no way. No, I feel like a trucker. Not happening. Okay, I got one more question. That was great. I feel loved. I feel good. I have been journaling daily for the past months or so, and it has helped. Thank you. Okay, last question. Okay, I have a girl I like. She has a boyfriend. Should I tell her I feel like I'm getting vibes from her?
Oh my God, but maybe you are getting vibes from her.
You might be.
And like, what's her relationship like? Like,
we need to find out what the relationship is like. Is it bad? Because sometimes people only stay in relationships until
they find someone else.
Yes.
They find a reason to pivot out. And then not in a cheater's way, but you're like, oh, I had no idea how bad it was until. Not encouraging that behavior, but sometimes you start talking to someone and you're like, whoa. You're not mean to me.
Yeah. I personally been on like the end where I vibed with someone while I've been in a relationship, and it's like we're both feeling it, but I'm thankful they didn't say anything because it's just not. I needed things to play out on my own.
Yes. And
then broke up with him and with my ex, and then we like reconnected. And if the vibe is still there, I think we'll be there. Yeah. But I think it just adds confusion sometimes to the other person's relationship. Yeah. And even if you like them, like. And tell them, and even if they like you, that's just going to add another layer of, it might make things weird if they're in a relationship.
Yeah. Also, you'll find someone else. They might not be that person, but it could be someone even better. So if you're getting those vibes, but they're unavailable, I think the best thing to do is just either wait, but also advocate for yourself. Just go do love yourself. And
go date someone else. Yeah. You'll see also how they act when you bring someone else around.
Ooh. Add to the rotation, which brings us back to that. Literally, all you have to do is what we said in the first question, which was, should I give my husband a threesome? No, I'm kidding. Should I tell your fuck buddy? It's the same thing as a fuck buddy. Nah. Yeah. Unless they, with the significant other, are telling you outright.
And I'd wait for the other person to say something first.
And I might be a little distrustful of someone flirting super hardcore, but in a way that's I kind of want to be with you, but they're still in a relationship because they're gonna do that to you at some point.
Exactly.
So whatever vibes are giving out, what are those vibes?
What are the vibes?
Yeah.
For me, sometimes you just, I've been in relationships where you just they aren't going well, but you vibe with someone else, and like I said, they might feel it, but there's no need to talk about it if it hasn't been a thing. Yeah. Just unless you guys are already hooking up.
That's true.
I know. I don't think they're hooking up. I would say keep it on the DL. Don't act impulsively on every sort of vibe you get, because if I did that, I would be cheating on my boyfriend with many different audience members. All right. Well, that's our second segment, Emotional Keys. I feel good. Let's get into our topics from the top, okay? Camping. Are we in? Are we out? 3 no's, right? Dude.
No. I've tried it.
I have tried it literally once. And on the way, I said, this is the first and last time. Just packing up the stuff. I was like, hell fucking no.
I've tried it 4 times.
Oh my God.
Because I was because every time I get super depressed, I go to the Grand Canyon or Arizona or somewhere to go hiking. It's
my God. And most people just drink.
No, and I do a bunch of drugs.
Yeah.
And so it's a yearly thing.
Yeah.
But no, last time I got bit by like some fucking fire ants. I can't sleep. My back was hurting. It's just not fun. I don't get it.
No, I'm way too high maintenance. I'm like, I need a proper toilet.
Me too.
I need back support.
Yes.
You know, I'm old now.
I'm old.
I'm not
I have
sleeping.
acne still, so if I like
rocks.
One night off the skincare, it's over.
That's it.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I got vitamin C serum. I got a retinol. I got an eye cream, and I have a hydroluric acid or whatever it's called. I'm not bringing that camping.
Yeah,
I'm killing it. So I'm not bringing that.
I do the same. My cousin who's studying dermatology made me buy all that stuff.
Yes. So. I have a sister-in-law who is a dermatologist and SPF,
I'm glad that
course.
they're doing. Yes. I'm glad that we're doing the same routine. That
Me
they're not
too.
bullshitting us.
I get really overwhelmed when people are doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Like
wait, what other layer are you adding?
I know. Or
maybe
like a quartz roller.
Before you like just spray a little like witch hazel before you put makap on. But that's.
Oh, I have rose water.
TMI. We do our SPF and our vitamin C.
Yeah.
So I have too many needs.
We're gonna look young forever.
Yes, please. I beg of you.
I know. It's like I will sacrifice a child.
I will drink a child's blood.
Yeah,
exactly.
Just why I'm not having kids because
Yeah.
I want to look young for a really long time.
I thought you said because you're gonna suck their blood.
Oh, I would do that.
That would be an easy
also.
source. Yeah.
I will say the pushing off not having kids for body reasons is like pretty big in my book.
Yep.
Unless you can afford a surrogate. You're like, hey, you carry this.
Dude, Andrew's like, next 4 years? I'm like, hell fucking no, bitch, dude. I would have to have a celebrity level personal trainer to get me back to what I need to be.
Yep.
Not that I'm, conforming to any body standards, but they exist.
Yeah.
In
also,
our industry.
Exactly. Plus, I have a history of like having like problems with like body image. So
Yeah.
Who doesn't? We're women. I've had it.
Yeah.
All my friends,
I'm
female
not getting
friends have
pregnant.
had men. Yeah.
Yeah. And guaranteed with my history of weight gain and weight loss, I would gain 500 pounds when I'm pregnant.
You're like, it's the baby.
I would eat so much. Just because, it's my period. I'm like, it's a baby. I'm eating for 2.
It's a preemie, but that's funny. Oh, it's your period.
Period, preemie, miscarriage, they're all the same.
Abortion.
I'm
eating for my abortion. I got a carbo load for my abortion. I need my strength.
I would too.
I need my strength
Please,
to bleed it out. Oh my gosh. Yeah, camping. No. Dude, and people who still do it, I don't know. Give me like an hour hike. I'm good with that.
Yeah, that's a good amount of time.
I like that.
hikes.
Yeah.
I've gone into it.
And then I want to shower afterwards, and I want to take care of
God.
my skin, and I want to lay in a bed.
Yeah.
After 1 hour hike.
Exactly.
After I get the mail, I'm like, I need to shower. Yes.
After 1 hour hike.
Dude, the wetness of camping.
I hate the wetness.
Even if it's not raining, it's moist air. Everything is damp after.
Are you going to the rainforest to camp?
That's what it feels like. I went one time upstate New York for one single night, and I think they thought they were going to do 2 nights, but the morning after I was like, we're going, right? And I think I derailed the whole thing because of how I slept on like a rock.
Yeah.
We ate like Triscuits around a fire.
Oh, no.
That's the other thing. They like
food. Yeah, I can't eat campfire food.
Yeah, no.
Also, like, where do I poop?
Yeah.
And pee?
Right. I
can't if I'm camping.
No.
I would have really bad constipation.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't understand the fun of it.
What do you think of people who spent the whole year inside and now this is what I'm thinking is happening? Have you guys bought anything during quarantine that was like, this is my new identity? Like I bought 2 bucket hats. Who are you? Okay. So I think people
bought a lot of jumpsuits.
Yes.
I bought a lot of jumpsuits too.
Biker shorts, like all sorts of like clothing.
I dyed my hair like 50 fucking times.
Dyeing the hair. So I think people are like, I'm going to be an outdoors person after this. No. It's going to be
you'll last like a week.
You go once and then that shit will sit in your closet.
Your kayak is just going to be in your living room.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the wall.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or on the mama goes to hook up with him.
He uses it as a bookshelf.
I literally was like,
The
well, that
kayak
describes someone that I once hooked up with.
Not even surprised. Yes, the guys who like brand themselves as like outdoorsy. Ugh.
Oh my!
I hate. If I see that on Hinge or something, I'm like, out.
I'm like, we will not get along. No. You're gonna be like, why are you on social media so much? And like, ew, you eat McDonald's? Ugh.
Yes, I was once with someone like that, like who loved camping.
No,
and he was just like, yeah, like I like to eat sustainable, and I was like, I don't know, like. White people don't do anything that's sustainable.
Yeah, so like, what do you mean by sustainable?
I was like, I'm gonna keep with my hamburgers and my other shit.
Yes.
But he was like very snobby about being outdoors all the time and like knowing how to rock climb. It's like, ugh.
The attitude that comes with making like overnight oats in a mason jar, like, please. I beg of you to chill.
I know.
Your compost pile.
No, compost is way too far. Yeah, it's too far.
Too far.
My family doesn't even believe in recycling.
I know. Brown people don't.
Get them to recycle.
It's so true. Brown people are always like, recycling? They're like, in our country, the garbage is all over the place.
Yeah, you can't even get them to trash, like, let alone recycle.
Right. Yeah, the recycling is, and then it's like, at the end of the day, you realize you read more articles on how like the individual has no impact on how we're saving the environment. It's more about the corporation.
And I'm like, oh, thank God. I'll just toss it.
Good. So I'll toss this can again. They don't even try here in New York City.
No.
Either.
No.
Except for the only thing they did was ban plastic bags, which has ruined my fucking life.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Because if you forget your reusable...
I never have a reusable bag on me.
And then you have to buy another one at the store. Yeah. And then your house is overflowing.
Unless you're at the bodega where they did not ban plastic bags. Yeah. They did not give a fuck. And I'm fine with that.
They got more.
Yeah,
they got more business because they have
them all out.
Yeah, all out. Yeah, it's a no for camping for all three of us. Maybe 1 hour hike. Okay, what about parasocial relationships? Do you guys have any people who you think, like, that you follow, who you think you're friends with?
No, I don't
think so.
Insane.
Yeah. My thing with these relationships, like big influencers, I'm on TikTok and I see some gals on that app who have 1 million followers, who have cult-like followings. And the comments will be like, bestie, how was your lunch? How was your Botox yesterday?
Oh my God.
And
I think it's also a generation thing. And on TikTok, they're just like talking to them. And a lot of people just tune in because they feel lonely. And they do.
Especially this past year.
Yes. So I think the loneliness plays into it. The age thing plays into it. They're just looking for someone to connect to and look up to. And they're like, oh, yeah, this is my friend. Because I see them do personal things, but they know nothing about me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One of them literally was sitting on the toilet yesterday and was like, never eating dairy again.
Oh my God.
Me, I veer on the side of you'll only see like comedic stuff from me. Not as much. Like you barely see my family on the apps. Maybe like a Mother's Day thing.
Yeah.
But you won't see my bodily functions. You won't know like everything I'm doing. For me, it's like, hell no.
Yeah. A little just mystery. Instagram live everything or whatever. Like there's absolutely no, that's the thing. They make you feel like you're their friend. So I think it's a two-way street. I think they play into it.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah. They're that's like the only way you get.
Yeah. They're like friendship fuck boys.
And that's how they are. It's true that. Because that's how, like, it used to be an influencer could post her little thought pics and you'd be like, she's so cool. But now they're breaking down but they're doing it still in a fake way. Yep. So they're like, I'm a real creator. I post everything and anything, and even photos where I look kind of fat.
Like real hot. Yeah. They're like, oh my God.
They're like, my jeans were so tight today and that's okay. And she's still like a size 2. And you're like, okay, bitch. But they're like breaking down influencer culture into like more real, but they're still like influencers.
Yeah.
And so people think they're friends because of that more real, capital R real style of being an influencer.
It's weird. Ew. I don't like it.
I know.
And like,
it's gross.
It's gross. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also like sometimes people are too confident if they think that like an influencer is their friend. I sometimes think my friends aren't even my friends. I'm like, do they hate me right now? So the fact that you're just like
100%. Stuart will post
delusional.
Stuart will post like, I'm in Dallas. I'm like, okay, bitch. Yeah. And I've known for weeks. I'm like, whatever. You just like go. You do you. And also, your following can turn on you in a second, which is the more scary thing.
Yeah, it's so strange. I see like people like posting comments either on like TikTok or like Instagram, like. I posted a clip of something and someone was like, wow, you think this is funny? And I was like, what the fuck?
Yes.
Like, like it's such a strange thing, but people get like jealous and weird. And then all of their hate, they just turn on you, but in mass.
Yeah.
And it is I've seen it happen to people. I'm like, this is fucked up and weird.
Yeah.
And,
I've seen it happen too. I've seen YouTubers go down.
It's kind of funny.
It's wild.
When a YouTuber
that guy David Dobrik went down. If you read about that, which was like a fucked up situation, and his apology video, he was crying in.
Of course.
Wait, which one was this guy?
The David Dobrik.
He like sexually harassed someone.
He's a vlogger and he vlogs like pranks. So he's like, my friends and I, blah blah, like crazy friend group stuff, like taking it to the next level. Free giveaway of a Lamborghini, stuff like that, like all sorts of stuff like that. And he had a party where he tried to get his friend to have a threesome. He's like, Dom's first threesome. And what happened was David Dobrik filmed Dom going into a room with a girl who was like blackout drunk. And David was like a bystander and movie filmer of the situation. Oh, not filming them having sex, but like the room where she was in. Yeah. And he's done some other shady stuff, like prank-oriented stuff.
I hate pranks.
Me too. I think pranks are always mean in nature.
Yes.
It's also just like so weird and be like, oh my God.
It's so funny. It made you feel like an idiot.
Yeah. That I hate pranks, and I hate when someone like films themselves giving a homeless person something. Those I don't know which. I think that's worse.
Those are worse.
Those are worse. But those are the two things that people I hate it.
Yes, totally. So he went down. He lost a ton of brands like Fresh Direct, like EA Sports or whatever. All these people dropped him. So he posted an apology video on YouTube. And he was crying in it, which is like so fake. And like same thing, like Chris D'Elia posted the crying video, and it was all so like impromptu. Like I don't like know how to begin this, and it's like, dude, this is your 10th take.
Yeah,
we know that.
It's like hair flip.
Yes, and when you have, I don't know, it's really scary having all those people following you because they can turn on you, and then you have to do the whole public thing and apology, and I'm really bad at saying sorry. That's like the number one reason I don't want to be an influencer, because like you have to say sorry at some point. All of them have to say sorry at some point.
I think at some point though, everyone will have to say sorry for something.
Yeah.
So, and it's just like, it's stupid.
I guess I would rather say sorry for a comedic thing rather than trying to be an influencer. Because influencers, you're literally influencing. You're literally like, hey girls, you can say one thing about your diet and someone will be like, you're influencing young girls to not eat after 10 a.m. If you do like, so here's my diet, I intermittent fast, and you can get insulted for that.
Right.
But if you only post comedic stuff, apologizing for a joke, you're like, sorry, I'm a comedian. Yeah. Like the Shane Gillis, sorry, I overstep boundaries. Yeah. But if you're an influencer, YouTuber,
you're held to some sort of weird standard.
Yeah, a lot of young kids. That's the other thing. Like a lot of young kids, like all of us.
Yeah, of course.
Really,
all of us under 40s.
Flirty under 40.
Flirty under 40.
But yeah, it's like all the kids who are just like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna like take you for every single thing that you're saying, and it's wild, and it's just gotten worse.
Yeah,
I'm so happy.
Keep your kids off the internet and social media until they can form a more educated opinion
around this time, because that would have been fucking wild and horrible.
I'm so glad.
We think we have issues now. Can you guys imagine? Oof. Honestly, growing up and
dude, we had like MySpace and then like Facebook photo albums. Yeah, and that was pretty much it until Instagram came out. And then when Instagram first came out, we were like, what the fuck is this? And we didn't like touch it for 4 years.
Same thing with Twitter.
Yes.
Yeah.
My first tweet was like, what the fuck? And then I like wasn't on it for 5 years. So I can't imagine like being raised in a TikTok house, like with that
TikTok house.
A house that's,
everyone's TikTok.
Your brain is like oriented toward those little videos, and they don't read books anymore. I tell you that much.
Nope.
They don't read books anymore, and they're influenced. We used to be influenced by the Spice Girls and Posh Spice and Lindsay Lohan,
and stickers for Spice World, and the lollipops,
and the Laguna Beach girls. But the new reality TV girls are these influencers. Yeah.
I'm so happy. I'm old.
I'm so happy I'm in menopause too.
Yes. Post-menopause. So old. But that's that. Any more thoughts about parasocial? Really, I feel like if you are dumb enough to think like And comment on someone's video?
Yeah. Don't comment on people's videos.
You're a problem.
Unless they're
Practice
funny.
more self-love.
Yeah.
Yes. Open your heart.
Exactly.
And imagine your heart covering you in a gold
rose.
Whatever color. In sperm.
In sperm, yes.
Oh, God. Took a beautiful thing.
My bad. Well, when I do my meditation, she's like, imagine the liquid, a viscous liquid flowing. And I'm always like, it's gone. Anyway, I think that's our pod.
Yay.
Thank you guys so much for joining. Where can we find you?
You can follow our pod at No Fly List Pod. You can follow me on Instagram, everything, Twitter at Atheer Yacoub.
And you can follow me at Amamah Sardar.
Awesome. And what is your pod about? What's the hook?
It's called the No Fly List.
Because we're brown.
Yeah. We basically interview other brown people and shit on white people.
Hell yeah. That's why I'm here, baby. I love to be shit on. We deserve it. We're bad people to our core. If you guys are listening, join the Patreon, patreon.com/Maddie Smith for video episodes and bonus Maddie content. If you're watching, thanks for joining the Patreon, and we'll see you next week. Bye.